Welcome, this is Mzuzu segment of News Hour and you're with me, Blessings Kanache. Thanks for joining us. A 14-year-old girl at Zolozolo in Mzuzu is looking for justice after two women abducted her with the intention of marrying her off to a stranger. Speaking to MBC, guardian to the child, who is her aunt, says despite the matter being reported to police, no action has been taken so far. Jason Momanda has the whole story.
According to the woman whose niece was abducted, the ordeal happened on 7 December, around 7 p.m. when she was busy with other house chores. It is reported that two women, together with the young man, came to her place asking for the 14-year-old girl. After the girl came out of the house, the two women grabbed her and took her to a place called Nkorongo in the outskirts of Mzuzu. The young girl, who has just sat for this year's Standard 8 examinations, told me she was kidnapped with an intention to marry her off to the young man who escorted the women. To coax her, the girl said the women showed her other girls, who they claimed accepted to be married, alleging that they were enjoying their marriage lives. A day later, the girl managed to escape from the house.
I entered in the house and it was packed with people. One of them said, "That's the girl you have been waiting for." I quickly told them that I'm not ready for marriage, as I'm still young, and that my parents cannot accept that.
The aunt to the girl told MBC that the matter was reported to police and they were sent to Mzuzu Central Hospital for medical checkup. Results came out that the girl was not sexually abused. Meanwhile, the aunt to the girl has called on government to intervene on the matter, as it is taking long for justice to prevail.
When we went to the police, we were told that once they arrest the suspects, they will phone us. But up to now, nothing has materialized.
And the police say they will follow the matter.
The statement was recorded, a file was opened, and currently the investigations are underway to have the suspects arrested.
The subscriber you're calling is not answering. Please try again later.
I tried to contact one of the suspects, who promised to show up for the interview, but the number went on unanswered despite several attempts of calling her. How the story will end, it remains to be seen as it unfolds. Reporting for MBC, this is Somomanda.
The Malawi Road Traffic and Safety Services has called on the motorcycle operators in the country to follow road safety rules and regulations in order to prevent road accidents. Road Transport Officer RTO for Central Region Moses Chisanje made the call in Nkhotakota during a sensitization meeting on the importance of licenses and insurance to motorcycle operators and passengers. Rodoviko Nyirenda has filed this report.
According to a survey the Road Traffic Office in Central Region conducted, many motorcyclists in the country operate without licenses and their motorbikes are not insured, a situation that is contributing to failure to compensate casualties when riders and their passengers are involved in road accidents. Road Traffic Officer Moses Chisanje said compliance to the license and insurance requirements has multiple benefits.
These riders are not aware about these regulations, so it is very important for them to learn on what the rule says on driving or riding the motorcycles and the road, so that every road user is going to do what has been stated by the Highway Code of Malawi. By now, they need to go to different driving schools to learn about what the law says on driving, on riding on our roads. By such, it means we're going to have safe riders on our roads, and on the same, we're also going to reduce the road accidents which are occurring every day on our roads.
Chairperson for Dwangwa Kabaza Association, Ezekiel Ngaziwa, said the meeting has benefited the association members.
Each and everybody were happy because we don't know how to know the highway code. We are happy.
Officer in charge for Nkunga Police Station, Owen Maganga, commended Malawi Road Traffic and Safety Services for the exercise.
I think this will give a great change in our daily operations. Because at first we can say that we were recording a lot of accidents just because people were running away from us. They were not making any differentiation between the police officers or the MRI officers. So whenever they saw a police officer, they were running away because they know that already they have committed a lot of offenses.
Realizing the importance of education, the Malawi Road Traffic and Safety Services has asked motorcyclists in the country to encourage their children to go to school. Rudoviko Nyirenda, MBC News, Duangwa, Kota Kota.
A Mzuzu-based charity organization, Judith Foundation, has urged various institutions to help in raising vulnerable children, including orphans, for them to grow into productive citizens. Board member of the foundation, Wisdom Nyirenda, was speaking in Mzuzu during a pre-Christmas get-together for street and other vulnerable children from the city. More in this report by Grant Muhango.
As the festive season is here, it remains the wish of everyone to have a decent meal, clothing and environment. However, this is not achievable to all, especially the less privileged, forcing them to go out begging, eventually going out into the streets if their wishes are not met. Judith Foundation board member Wisdom Nyirenda says the institution organized a Christmas get-together for the children to share and interact with each other.
Other families who are less privileged and who have got children, kids who have who normal and normal circumstances, they go a day without food during this period. So for us, our major concern is to ensure that this child is given an opportunity to interact, to share joy, as well as to share some gifts with their colleagues.
One of the beneficiaries, Timothy Gama, says the programs the organization offers have been a game changer in his life.
Judith Foundation has paid school fees for me, and school uniforms, books, and more especially play different games.
Parliamentarian for Mzuzu City Benix Mamlima called for care and protection of the vulnerable children in the country.
If we leave these children unhelped, they'll be thugs, they'll be criminals. And in Malawi, let me tell you, if we cannot educate our children, forget about our future.
During the event, children showcased various talents, including dances and acrobatics. For MBC in Mzuzu, Grant Muhango reporting.
The medicinal cannabis farming has the potential to uplift the livelihood of rural communities where the crop will be produced. Speaking to MBC during a tour of one of the potential 230-hectare cannabis farms at Lumono in Mzimba, Inkosi Kampingo Swande expressed hope that once the farming of the crop kicks off, his area will be transformed. Our reporter Blair Mhone speaks to Inkosi Kampingo Swande.
We are privileged as an area to have this project happening within our community. Actually, cannabis is a new product that has been introduced in the market within Malawi, which is highly variable. Yeah, so being an area where we have also been, we have taken part into growing this cannabis, we hope it will help uplift the communities. One, in terms of employment, most of the people maybe who engage into farming and they don't know what actually, which product, and they can easily give them a lot of money. This is one of them that they'll engage into. And we're also going to have maybe a boost in terms of economy of the area. Since people have money, they can also have a lot of activities that development activities that can take place because they have money.
And one of the farmers at the Lumono estate, which is under Mberwa Investment Limited, William Mumba, said local communities are set to benefit through employment with thousands of jobs on the cards once licenses have been granted by the Cannabis Regulatory Authority.
We think that cannabis production is going to help to boost the economy of the country at large, but at the same time move the people who have been living in poverty since independence to somewhere, what I would use the word middle class income people. because whatever is going to be produced, whether it is by a worker or somebody, we want that worker as well to engage in maybe a little bit of farming, maybe grow a little bit of cannabis on his own as he is working in the farm that belongs to somebody else.
Mzuzu City parliamentarian Benix Mamlima has assured city residents of massive infrastructure development aimed at transforming people's lives. Mamlima told NBC that Mzuzu City needs infrastructure investment from the central government and private investors for the city to grow to desirable standards. Blair Mhone speaks to Mamlima.
Despite that Mzuzu was accorded the city status, it still lacks a number of basic facilities. You are aware that Mzuzu has no stadium, and you know very well the stadium that we have has outlived its lifespan. The Northerners also need a good stadium, just like in the center, south. We also want to watch international games. Come to Mzuzu Youth Center. We don't have a youth center in Mzuzu. So we want our boys and girls where they can share knowledge. Necessary infrastructure. You cannot call a city without roads. You cannot call a city without good schools. You know, so many things that we need, basic needs that make a city what we want here. We cannot call a city without basic facilities. You know, also if you go to our city, you find that the infrastructure that we have there is a shanty office.
Well, that story concludes the Mzuzu segment of News Hour. And on behalf of the News and Current Affairs crew in the Northern Region, my name is Blessings Kanache. Bye for now.